Hello everyone, I want to welcome you to I Can Finish Well, day 1 of the practical part of this program. And we're going to be addressing a few things right out of the gate. I'm welcoming you to this is actually my personal workout studio. And I wanted to show you it in the raw because I wanted to really address something. The last thing I want you to do is throw a treadmill in the corner in the bottom of your basement in a dark corner. It is not motivating. So you got to think about, hey, I'm going to be spending some time here. It needs to be motivating. So as you see in my studio, you'll see this really amazing picture of my little dog Jazz. And I tell you, you can't look at that picture and not put a smile on your face. And, I come in here and I see that picture and it just makes me happy. And that's, you have to be good to yourself. Remember, this is what this is about, is taking good care of you so you can go do some great things for the kingdom. Now, the first thing that I'm going to address is exercise programs. We are going to start slow and build up. We have to set up a foundation for you physically as we are setting up a foundation for you spiritually as well. So this is what day 1 looks like. Day 1 is all about cardiovascular exercise. Okay, cardiovascular exercise helps with energy. So what happens with energy? Okay, here's the example. If you do 30 minutes of cardio 3 times a week minimum, and that's the goal I have set for you. We're not going to do this every day. This does not have to overtake your life. This just is to enhance your life and balance so it is not too much. It is just enough to make sure that you are healthy. Okay, so here's the deal. 30 minutes of cardio 3 times a week will give you on average 3 more hours a day of energy. Anybody need 21 more hours of energy? Anybody need that? I do. What can you do in 21 hours a week where you normally wouldn't have because you're tired? And I never here's the excuse that I just love with people when they say, well, I'm just too tired to work out. You're tired because you're not working out. So just keep that in mind. When you give that as an excuse, no, that's not an excuse, okay? So here's the deal. Cardiovascular exercise, and I want to remind you that if you're having anything medical go on, it's wisdom to go get checked out and make sure you're okay. Okay, so I always want to say, look, we are faith people, but we also need to use wisdom, and you need to get to a place where somebody can check you out and make sure that you're okay if you are having some problems, okay? But bottom line is if we are just getting started, real basic training, and what we're going to talk about right here is this is a recumbent bike. This is a great place to start. I would suggest either a treadmill or a recumbent bike when you're starting a workout program. It is the easiest on your body, but I'm going to explain both concepts while I'm riding this bike. Okay? So you're going to sit on the bike, put your feet on the bike, feet up here, and you're going to push back. Now, what I want your knee to look like is where it is slightly bent when you go forward. It should not look like this, okay? And it also should not look like this, and you can't reach. There's a fine line. So you want your knee slightly bent when it goes forward, and that's perfect, okay? You just start riding. This is the part where I say stimulate, don't annihilate. You do not have to kill yourself to get results. Now, this bike is different than other bikes. So all you have to do is read the instructions, but the program I really want you to be on is a manual program. And that's where the resistance is just straight across the board all the way. So you're going to select the manual program, hit enter, and I'm going to put it on the easiest level. Okay? Now I'm going to put up a graphic for you. But also there is a workout program for this with all this information on my website at icanfinishwell.com. Okay? You can go there, you can see how to figure out your target heart rate. Target heart rate is extremely important. Let me tell you why. And I'm just going to sit here and ride for 5 minutes while I'm talking to you. And I'm going to explain all of this to you. Okay? These are heart monitors. Okay? I'm going to put my hands on it and squeeze, and I'm going to see where I'm at. Now, I'm doing this at a pace that is nice and easy, and I can sit here and talk to you. I'm not doing this. You don't need to do that. That's not what this is about. I'm not training for a marathon. I'm not training for who knows what, a Ironman. I'm not training for any of that. I'm training for life. So we want to maintain our joints. And if we come in here and we just go to town on our joints, and this is an example. If you're running down the street, you know how much weight is put on your joints? 600 to 800 times your body weight. Figure that out. So every time you come down on that knee, it's 600 to 800 times your body weight that's hitting that joint. My job as your trainer is to make sure that when you hit, whatever age you hit, you still have the ability to use those knees, okay? So here we go. Your target heart rate is like 220 minus your age times 0.65 and 0.75. And I don't expect you to know this, but there is a formula for it. And I'm putting you between 65 to 75% of your max target heart rate, okay? And what I want you to do is once you figure that out, when you get to 5 minutes on this, you'll check your heart rate, and I'm gonna stop. You'll check your heart rate, and you'll make sure that you're in your target heart rate. And let me explain why. Let me catch my breath. So I want you to be able to understand me. So if you check your target heart rate and you make sure in your target heart rate, the reason you need to do that is one, we are trying to be healthy. We're trying to build muscle tissue. And the reason we're trying to build muscle tissue is that's what, one, helps your structural. It helps hold your body. It helps you live life. It helps you pick up that box, okay? It just helps you get through daily life. But also it increases your metabolic rate. That's what speeds up your metabolism, so you're burning more calories on a daily basis. So what happens is your metabolism goes up, you're able to eat right, you have your activity levels up, so that means that you're burning more calories than you're taking in. It's just like a checkbook. If you spend more than you're actually taking in, you're gonna have a problem. And that's what we want to avoid. So we want to be in our target heart rate. If we go too high, we're training at a cardiovascular level. And what that means is now you're training for that marathon, okay? And that is not the goal we have in mind. We want to burn off body fat and not tear down the muscle tissue that we're trying so hard to build up. Now we'll go into that a little bit more once we get to the resistance training segment, but today's about cardio, okay? You need to find a place where you feel safe doing cardio. If it's at home, if it's in a gym, but we need to figure out where that is. That's step one, is where you're gonna do it. Where you will actually see yourself go 3 times a week to do it, okay? I don't want you to say, hey, I'm gonna do it, and then you can't picture yourself going. If you can't picture yourself going, don't even do it, okay? And I also want you to schedule this in. This is now an appointment. This is an ongoing appointment. So at the beginning of the week, look at your schedule, schedule it in, okay? All right, so we want to be in our target heart rate. We also don't want to be lower than our target heart rate because we want to actually be doing something. And that's why when you get to 5 minutes on your target heart rate, or on your bike, while you're doing your bike, if you get to 5 minutes, I want you to check. And if you're too high, you change the resistance. If you're too low, you change the resistance. And the same thing, say I'm walking on a treadmill, okay? I would set it at about 2.0 on the speed, and I would set it at about 2.0 on the incline. And when you get to 5 minutes, get up there and start walking, check your heart rate, okay? And if you're too high, the only thing I want you to change at that point, because we're just getting started, I just want you to go for a walk, okay? Is I want you to incline the treadmill or decline, or doing the decline, bring it down. So what we're doing is we're adjusting the intensity of the workout with the incline. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So we want to be in the target heart rate by 5 minutes. We want to hold it there until we get to the end of the workout. Now, if you're only doing cardio that day, you don't have time for your resistance training, I want you to cool down the last 5 minutes. So I want a good solid 20, 25 minutes in there in your target heart rate, and then cool down. If, however, you're going to go right onto your resistance training and keep continuing to work out, then you don't need to necessarily do that. Go ahead and do your workout till you get to that 30 minutes, because that's your goal, is 30 minutes 3 times a week, okay? But what I want you to do is start off at 20 minutes. Now, I have one other thing I want to say, is everyone is different. I can't put you all in this little box, okay? So this is what I want you to look for. If you get on the bike and 5 minutes is tough, do 5 minutes. And then the next time you go, do 6 minutes. This is not a race. This is not a competition. This is your race. Stay in your, that's the new saying, stay in your lane, okay? We are only trying to get to where we can move forward on your program and on your fitness 1 step at a time. And as long as we don't have to go backwards, we're going to win, okay? So that's cardiovascular exercise. Here's the other one. You've probably seen these guys in the gym or wherever you've done. Now, these are ellipticals. Now, if your condition of cardio is, let's just say when you get on a bike or treadmill, it's hard, this is more of an advanced piece. Now, a recommendation is that you get your cardiovascular health built up on the others before you jump on here. But if you don't have the ability to do that, let me tell you what you can do. You're going to start the machine, okay? And you're going to get it going. Now, you see how fast my legs are going? It's just a slow walk. See my hands? They're not doing anything. They're just resting, okay? If you're moving your arms, it's going to make your heart rate elevate. So this is a stage, a lot of different stages for the process if your cardiovascular health is not what's needed to be. And so what you want to do is just kind of easily ride the elliptical. You're going to put start. You're going to change your resistance and change your incline to an easy level. And then once you get to 30 minutes, again, in your target heart rate, again, you can go slow. It does not have to be this. If you can't do this for a long period of time, don't do it. These also have heart rate monitors on them, but I'm going to tell you how to do your heart rate without a heart monitor. Because if you're walking outside, if you don't have a pulsar or a heart monitor, a lot of people do nowadays, but if you don't, there's a way to do it, okay? And the way to do it is you're walking. Anybody know where your pulse is? You put your hand right here. You can feel right here where there's a little bit of boom, boom, boom. And you're walking. So in 5 minutes, you're going to watch on your watch. Hopefully you have a watch for 6 seconds. And let's say your heart rate is 120 to 130. So for 6 seconds, you're going to take the first 2 numbers of your target heart rate and make sure you're between 12 and 13 beats if your heart rate should be between 120 and 130. And that's how you do it. And then what do? You adjust. So if you're walking and your heart rate's too high, what do? Bring your arms down and slow it down. The bottom line is we just want to get you in your target heart rate for a certain period of time, a few times a week. Okay? So the next day, day 2, we'll be talking about stretching. But I want you to start, 1, find where you're going to do your cardio, and 2, start doing it. Okay, I'll see you on day 2.